Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's edition of the Wellness Homesteader. I have a little friend here today. I wanted to see if he'll say hello, so hang on.
You say hi? You say hi?
So this is Hanky Panky Frankie. Oh yeah, he said hello. I know, buddy. So anyway, I know you've seen him in a couple of videos, and he's quite the cat. So this morning, happy hump day. It's Wednesday here. Not sure what day you'll be watching this or what day I'm going to post it, but do you notice I'm not sick anymore? Or I've recovered from my surgery, I guess. So I had a little bit of time this morning before I go to my oral surgery follow-up appointment, and I wanted to share with you a project I'm going to work on. It's a little project, but it's something natural. It reuses items that would otherwise just go in my compost bin. So stay tuned. Welcome back. So I have to tell y'all a little funny. Some of the people that watch me are my personal friends. So they wanted to know who my secret admirer was that was sending me all the roses. And I'm going to share the answer to that. It's me. So I have yard flowers, what I call yard flowers, garden flowers, that I cut. And I love having fresh flowers in the home. And I also love using them. A lot of them you can eat. You can use them in bath and body preparations. There's all kinds of uses for the flowers rather than to just chuck them in the compost pile. So I am down to, sadly, my last cutting yesterday of zinnias. We're going to get so cold I don't think I will have any more. So when I start having less flowers indoors, I go to Walmart and they sell 5 long stem roses for $4.89. And I always try to find them tightly closed. I cut them, I use the little packet in them, I put them in warm water, and never fails. They open beautifully. So prior to the red, I had pink. So here is one of the pink ones that has been air drying. The fragrance is amazing. And I'm not a big fan of rose fragrance. These smell well, but it's a different scent. So the pink are much sweeter than the red. Here's another thing that you can do. These are completely dried. And I dried these in the microwave because I was not concerned about removing any of the beneficial properties of these petals. Because you know what I do with them? I'm going to incorporate them into homemade paper or stationery, which makes a lovely gift. And there will be a video probably in the Christmas series about different ideas of things that you can make yourself for Christmas gifts. So I'm going to set that aside. So what am I going to do with these roses today? Well, share a little story. When I was growing up, very young, as a matter of fact, I had very light blonde hair. Oh, and back when my mother used to wash my hair, she was old school. And she always did a vinegar rinse because we didn't have conditioners or detangler type stuff back then, or at least Mom never purchased it. I hated it. She would put straight white vinegar on me. My sister is a brunette, so she got, I think, apple cider vinegar or dark vinegar. And it was supposed to improve shine and health. And it was not the best smell in the world to have on your head. That's why I disliked it. But what I will say is, once you rinse it out and your hair dries or you dry your hair, you don't smell like a pickle. You don't smell like vinegar at all. What I like to do is put the petals into white vinegar, make myself a rinse, and then my hair smells like flowers instead of like nothing, because pretty much just the straight vinegar, your hair just smells like hair. It doesn't really have a nice scent. So I could technically use the vinegars that I'm working on now, the blueberry or the raspberry as well, and smell like a fruit. But I had purchased pink before these, and these are the best smelling roses I think that I've ever purchased. And you know, for $4.89, I get about 10 days of enjoyment out of the flowers, and then I repurpose them. So I thought today I would bring you along and I am going to make some hair vinegar runs. Now, I will share, roses have amazing properties that are very, very beneficial to skin and hair. That said, my disclaimer is I'm not a certified herbologist. I am not a physician. Always do your own research. I actually learned the method of making the vinegar, as I've shared in an earlier video, from Rain Country. And she uses just vinegar to wash her hair. I don't know if I'm ready for that. So for now, I'm going to use it as rinse. Being blonde, sort of blonde, dirty blonde, I don't know if this will impart too much of a red cast to my hair. Typically, if I've infused vinegar, I have not used anything that colored the vinegar, or I have used lavender, which makes a purple color vinegar, which then kind of tones down the brassiness. I have a lot of white and gray. Yes, I color my hair. I cover it up as best I can. So that hair tends to be more porous and absorb funky colors. So we'll see. I may look like Rainbow Bright when I get done making this vinegar, but somehow I don't think so. I think it's gonna be just fine. So you have a couple choices. You can either use dried, and let me share here. I've just allowed these to air dry. So I have roses on my property as well as roses that I've purchased. I know the roses on my property have been grown organically. Can't say the same for these. However, I'm not terribly concerned about what pesticides or herbicides might have been used on these roses. I would prefer organic, but since I don't have enough of my own roses, I'm going to reuse this and make something out of it and give it a shot. One of the reasons that I did not put those in my food dehydrator, or I have a device that you can use in the microwave, is I want the roses to retain the important properties that benefit hair growth, skin beauty, if you will, and radiance. So I thought I would get more benefit by drying them by air. I'm actually going to, sadly, dehead all my roses, and again, a quart jar. I need half-gallon jars, guys. Pardon me. And I did look again today, and the price for a half-gallon jar is like so over the top. I will not pay it. Price gougers are just not nice people. So I'm just going to do quarts, and if I have to do a couple quarts, that would be fine. So very similar process to what we did when we made over here our raspberry and blueberry vinegar, only this time I'm going to take you through the whole process. So all I'm going to do is whack off the heads, so sad, of my roses. And if you are using fresh flowers, which I consider those fresh, you are going to want to fill up that jar all the way to the top. So I'm going to spend a few moments here, and you can see what I'm doing. Just simply pulling the petals off, dropping them into the jar. I'm going to layer some of the pink. These are not as dry as what the other individual petals are, because I did not take them off of the little crown there, because I knew I was going to do this. And these actually have a better aroma. So I'm just going to fill this jar up, and I am definitely going to have plenty, maybe for 2 quarts. I'm wondering, how are you all doing that can with your jar supply? You know, last year, end of season, I bought a ton of jars half price at Walmart.com because I was in need. So I thought, you know, I'm just going to get them. It's not like they go to waste or whatever. I'm so grateful that I did, because I am now kind of down to the point where I have to decide I have plenty of jellies, but I only have quarts and pints, and I don't have a lot of quarts. So what do I really, 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 really want to make? And I have about, I don't know, 15 candy projects I'd like to do. And I know I have some pumpkin coming up, which is really going to put a dent into my pints. So drop me a comment below, if you will, and let me know, how are you fixed for canning jars? And I know there's a lot of scams going on right now. If you have any super top secret ways to buy jars, let me know. All right, so I had 2 heads that I'm not going to use. I'm just going to put back in the bowl. So this was, I think, 6 roses. So I've just filled it up. Now what I'm going to do to get it started, and if I had my vinegar ready, I would use some of that to get this started. So I'm just going to put, I don't know, that much, maybe a tablespoon of the organic vinegar with the water. And then about 1/8 of a cup. You know, probably shouldn't use this. Probably should use a real measuring cup. Okay. So if you're using a quart, it's 1/8 of a cup. No, I'm sorry, a 1/4 cup. If you're using a 1/2 gallon, it's 1/2 cup. Good Lord. All right, here we go. You could use up on all. And this is my raw organic cane sugar. So you can see it's, you know, it's not white. And actually I mixed 2 bags that were a little bit different colors. So that's why it looks a little funky. Okay. All right. Finally, same thing we did when we made fruit vinegar, distilled water. Fill it up. And give it a stir with a non-metal utensil. Chopstick. And then this is the same process. Stir daily until it turns to vinegar. So about 30 days. I wasn't as prepared as I needed to be this morning. So I'm just stirring it really, really good because that sugar, as I said, it's a little chilly in the house. I resist turning on the heat as long as I possibly can. I have natural gas heat. I had to purchase a new furnace probably 4 or 5 years ago, not that long ago. And while it's efficient, I have a pretty large house, so that can create some big bills. So I tried to do things like pressure can things that take a long time, which I totally recognize that uses electricity, but it also gives you the benefit of heating the house, plus you get your food out of it. I use my kerosene lamps, and I will drop a link to the oil lamp video that I did earlier, so you can see that as well. So you know, just when you think you're not going to cough, you cough. I'm not sure what that was all about. So I just take a Sharpie and write on here the date, because yeah, you think you'll remember. I never do. Piece of my super cute fabric, rubber band, and there you have it. Isn't that so pretty? And you can see I still have some sugar in there, so I'm gonna let this sit. What I have been doing is stirring twice a day. And just to share a little update, my vinegars are coming along really nicely. I've had no problems with mold, and they're really starting to smell like vinegar. So I'm excited about that. So let me know, what do you use as a hair rinse? Do you use commercial conditioner, which I'm sure y'all know some days I look like a chia pet. I have naturally curly hair, and it's really, really frizzy. So I'm always looking for like the perfect conditioner. But when you flip it around and you read the list of chemicals, you're like, oh my word, what am I doing? So plain coconut oil works really well if you have dry and curly hair like I do. And vinegar also works well. So drop me a comment, let me know. And I also want to remind you, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button. You know, if you're on a smart device, it's down at the right, the little word that says subscribe, and then ring the bell to be notified of new videos. So be well, be healthy, be blessed. Have a great day. Wait, don't go yet. I forgot the most important thing. This is the disadvantage of taping early in the morning. You don't want to use this vinegar straight up on your hair. One of my objections to my mother's method of just pouring straight vinegar is it's very acidic. So store-bought vinegar is 5% acidity, and your homemade vinegar should also be at a similar acidity. So that can hurt if you have any irritations on your scalp or you've been scratching or whatever. So what you want to do once you have your beautiful vinegar, and I did stir again, is you want to put it into a spray bottle. So, you know, maybe put 1/4 cup of the vinegar, fill the rest up with warm water, spray it on your hair and work it through. Don't dump the straight vinegar on your hair unless you want to get kind of a scalp shock. So thank you for enduring one more little reminder. Have a great day.